Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming. On behalf of, I'm the property manager, Rocco Aruzo, for those of you who don't know me. And on behalf of our general manager, Lisa Aruzo, and myself, thank you for coming to the Laurel Mall today. It's a pleasure having you all. Today is a very exciting day, very exciting. And before we get into anything, let me introduce who's sitting at this table, because it makes it even more exciting for us, am I right? We have to my far right, the Vice President of Lexington Realty International, Mr. Eric Frankel. And the President of Lexington Realty International, I had the pleasure of driving from Pottsville up with, and we had a nice conversation. And he told me I can have my job for another while, so that made me feel good. Our president, Mr. Alan Redkinski. You know, I say we are very blessed and fortunate, and it is an exciting day today, and it's because of these gentlemen that what you're going to hear shortly. But we're so fortunate here at the Laurel Mall to have ownership who's not afraid to invest in the mall, a great management company, and believe me, they are. They not only manage, of course, the Laurel Mall, they manage so many properties throughout the country between malls, strip centers, office buildings, you name it, they have it, and they're throughout the whole country. They know the business, and I think that's what makes us here so successful. When you hear about, unfortunately, bad news with malls, that they're declining, who's closing, who's going out of business, you lose anchors, you lose stores. We're fortunate to have what we have because we have an aggressive, very aggressive management company that goes out and let's see what we can do for our mall. I'll give you a quick example before I turn it over to Alan. JCPenney closed, we got Dunham's. We have a couple other things that are happening that Alan's gonna share with you. So even though it looks grim other places, it's surely not grim here at our mall, and that, thank God, we're pleased for that. So enough of me. I'm going to turn it over now to the main man, Mr. Alan Redkinski. You want to hold it? You want me to put it?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Members of merchants of the Laurel Mall, and everyone else who joined us today. I want to thank you for taking your valuable time and sharing with us. Today, as Rocco mentioned, we have some excellent news to share with everyone. Back when we took over the property, Laurel Mall was, as many malls throughout the country, was on a decline. Tenants were leaving. Some tenants, believe it or not, who we had such tremendous relationships with throughout the country, because the property itself was just hurting, or the area was hurting, retail was hurting, they were leaving as well. We came in to the property, we focused on the property, we saw what would happen if we lived in this area, what would we do? We went ahead and we secured, as Rocco mentioned, an immediate replacement for a JCPenney that was leaving. We said, what would we want if we were here? We worked years to go ahead and be able to get a TJ Maxx over here. Throughout the years that we had the property, we're kind of almost 100% occupied, maybe with maybe 1 or 2% vacancy. And the one thing that hit us, which we had no control over, because it was a corporate decision, was the Kmart going dark. No longer. I'd like today to announce that we signed leases with Hobby Lobby and Planet Fitness to occupy 3/4 of the former Kmart location. These two tenants together, who are a tremendous draw and tremendous destination from throughout these areas, and areas I'd say probably around 60 miles around, do attract, they continue to come here, and they are going to be a tremendous, tremendous asset and customer base to join us here at the Laurel Mall family. So I am so excited to share with you. I don't have the actual paperwork, or should I say like the pictures of how they're gonna look, but you'll see it real shortly. We're not talking about we sign leases and therefore they're gonna be here, and they're gonna be here really quickly. Eric, how long are they gonna be?
All in 2020.
All in 2020, probably the first quarter of 2020, maybe second quarter, but they're going to be here before you'll be seeing active construction, and they're going to be open. So it's a tremendous pride and pleasure that I share with everyone, the new tenants coming over here to bring the Laurel Mall back to the unique occupancy of close to 100%, a feat not seen throughout many of the properties, throughout many malls throughout the country, and we proudly share this news with you of this tremendous news. There's a few points I want to mention that's going to change now with this, but good change, really good change. Laurel Mall currently employs approximately 920 full-time and part-time workers. With the addition of these two new tenants, we'll have another 100 jobs filled, bringing Laurel Mall as over 1,000 jobs being employed in this mall that we stand today. We only have 3,200 square feet of vacancy, which probably within the next 24 hours, I imagine, will be claimed as an occupied store, because we have a letter of intent in our hands about that, and it's going to be hopefully accepted and signed, unless the news is already here now.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, it's just again, this time tomorrow, I'm sure that last space will be gone. The strip center that we all look outside and we see, we did have a couple of new tenants over there. We had Spark Orthodontics open over there, and Genevieve's Deli opened up over there as well. The question many ask, whatever happened to Bogart's? Well, whatever happened to Bogart's is no longer applicable. What's going to be going forward, we do have a letter of intent to have that space taken over and open as a deli, actually as a restaurant, and that's going to be taking place immediately, if not sooner. We had the unique opportunity of opening up so many stores in the past 12 months. Hazelton Accessories, Hazelton Computer, Mariano's Furniture, PA Skill and Games, Petable Puppies, Ripper Jewelers, Treasure Hunt Kids, Tri-State Security Solutions, who actually operates in our location, in our mall, besides providing us the fantastic security, thank you. They actually operate a hub here within the mall itself, giving everyone here that extra layer of protection and security, which we all feel so thankful for, and thank you for that. Thank you. Opening soon. Besides that, we have a Mexican food store taking over the former Salad Delight store. Rebecca's Creation is going to be in this very spot that we are meeting as we speak right now, and North Pole Family Portrait Center. So with all these new stores, and sometimes it baffles me how successful we've become over here, but it's in no small part a thanks to all of you for being the greatest managers of your stores, being the greatest people that the shoppers of Hazelton and surrounding areas feel comfortable to shop here, are happy to shop here. And it's my thanks to you, and you because you guys are keeping me employed and being able to pay the mortgage here as well. So I thank everyone here for the fantastic job, the really fantastic job you're doing. It's our pleasure to continue that which we've done in the past in giving over $25,000 back to the community through Helping Hands, March of Dimes, American Cancer, American Red Cross, Representative Tara Tuhill, in her health projects that she has over here at the property. It's my thanks to everyone here again for being here, for being the loyal shopper, for being the great manager, and bringing your companies, yourselves, and ourselves the success that we have seen, continue to see, and hope to see going forward in the future. Thank you again, and if there are any questions, I'd be more than glad to answer. This is a tough crowd. Okay, good, thank you.
Can you clear up the timetable when these two new
The leases are signed, and with the leases being signed, those leases, immediately they're going to start construction.
Actually, Monday, Planet Fitness.
Monday morning, Planet Fitness will begin their construction. Hobby Lobby will begin soon thereafter. When they will open is depend on how quickly the winter is to us and how quickly we can go ahead and get everything.
Until
12 weeks for Planet Fitness.
12 weeks of Planet Fitness, but
She
for the
just met with them.
okay, well then we're on an aggressive pace for that. A very unique and interesting thing that the way if we look outside the way the slope is with the Kmart, one may ask how in the world you're going to backfill the space, and that again took a while for us to work on. But we were successful, thank God, in being able to get Planet Fitness to take the left-hand side, and the space next door to Planet Fitness will be the Hobby Lobby, which is, it does take a while for construction for them because it's such a massive store, but they are going to get on it immediately, and depending on the weather and depending on everything lines up, they'll be open in 2020.
So Planet Fitness is gonna go like,
All the way to the left, facing the mall, all the way to the left,
so
kind of,
they're like the front,
which,
what's outside.
everyone's facing front, but basically kind of where the garden center was, to that left-hand side is where the Planet Fitness will be. Next door to that would be where the Hobby Lobby is going to be. And then the remaining space will be between Hobby Lobby and our mall, smaller space, which we hope to go ahead and backfill. We have a lot of interest, but that much more will come through, and we'll be able to be that much more intelligent in who we choose to put in there once this announcement has been made.
The letter of intent you were talking about, that last,
Sorry?
the letter of intent you were talking about, is that last space?
The letter of intent, no. Letter of intent we have,
Kmart.
yeah, we have the letter of intent is actually for the Bogarts location. That should be taken. It's quite a serious letter of intent. It's not a pipe dream. It's a real deal. And again, I imagine seeing them open within the next couple of months at the latest, probably sooner. Okay, thank you.
Is there any developments with the former ground round space?
Yes, there is. You know something? That's a great question. Thank you for bringing it up. Former ground round space, we do have, again, a letter of intent that was on the table. It fell off the table, and then now it's back on the table. I want to explain to everybody what happens in the world of retail and the world of real estate. It takes a long time to get the deal done, but when it gets done, it's here for a long time, you hope. We're now back. We do have that letter of intent, which we hope for the former ground round. We hope to be able to secure funding for that, to be able to build out for a new tenant. Can't tell you who.
The restaurant.
You can tear it down if the building is currently there?
We try to go ahead and use as much, to reuse as much as we can. If we're able to go ahead and keep the building, we'll do that. If we're unable, we'll have to work with it accordingly.
Will it be a restaurant?
Any other questions?
That's it.
Retail.
Well, the retail, it definitely is going to, any other questions?
Will both Planet Fitness and Hobby Lobby have both external, outside of the mall, and internal of the mall, they will be able to get into both separately?
Let me just try to describe to you how it's going to look. We have our mall. This is our mall. This is over here. This is the Kmart. The furthest part away is going to be the Planet Fitness. They won't be able to have any entrance because they don't come into the mall. Hobby Lobby again is not going to be abutting the mall either, because there's space between the Hobby Lobby and our mall. So they will not have entrance into the mall. They'll have entrance exterior only, but they will. But the next tenant we'll put in there, in between the Hobby Lobby and the mall, it will be our strongest attempt to have them open up into the mall. The new tenant. Well, it sounds like that's been the 21 questions. Okay, well, thank you very much again, and I'm available for any questions off-site if you like as well. Thank you.